Hey everybody, Privacy Smurf here from Zenalytics Trading with your Fear and Greed update to keep you one step ahead of the retail market.
Today's sentiment update is for the week ending Friday, March 22nd, 2024. I apologize for any noise in the background or for any weird crispy sounds in my voice. I'm testing out a noise canceling microphone. Starting with Bitcoin, sentiment has been falling along with price for the past 2 weeks and is now measuring in at about 63. There are no predictive elements to the chart at the moment, bringing in some speculation. Given the rate that sentiment has been falling, I would speculate that the midline won't be touched until around 52K for price. However, if we look at the timing of the late January sentiment pivot point low, that was at prices of around 42K. I don't expect us to have to go that low again before the market turns to a majority bearish sentiment. It'll probably be much higher. Moving to the S&P, sentiment is up to 75 this week. The bearish divergence continues to build between sentiment and price. Prices are continuing higher while sentiment is steadily setting lower highs. A big dip or a long consolidation period is probably coming in the near future. There's still room to the upside since we aren't in the greed zone yet, so we can still have multiple weeks of bullish behavior before we see that dip. The US dollar index, or the Dixie, is up this week to 73 in sentiment. There are no predictive elements to the chart at the moment. Bringing in some speculation, I would put levels around 105 or 106 for the Dixie as the place that would put sentiment into the greed zone. If the Dixie continues up into the greed zone and falls from there, since it's typically an inversely correlated asset class to stocks and crypto, perhaps the fall then would translate to being a sustained bull trend in the stocks instead of the small weekly gains that we're seeing, and the resuming of the uptrend for crypto. Moving to gold, despite spiking up to a new all-time high at 22.25, sentiment is only slightly up to 74 at the close of the week. There are bearish divergences that have formed on both the weekly and the daily time frame when measuring sentiment and price. The high prices that we're seeing can't be sustained without an increase in bullish volume. Bringing in some technical trading methods, looking at the daily time frame, there are bearish targets from divergence down to 2120 and 2080. There's also a fairly sizable gap in traded prices from 2100 to 2140, and there's not really any telling what will happen, if price will fall quickly through that zone or if it will consolidate and set like some new support zone. It's really hard to tell. And finally, we have the 30-year bond contract, which is down below the midline at 47, so it's now a majority bearish sentiment opinion. There are no predictive elements to the sentiment chart at the moment. Looking at technicals, it would appear that the 117 to 118 level is the price floor at the moment. I imagine sentiment will track pretty closely to prices, and bringing in speculation, I expect consolidation between 117 to 122 with impulsive price action outside of that range, either top or bottom.
Just a reminder, sentiment is great as an indicator, but it's really best utilized with some objective form of technical analysis to generate a signal to act on sentiment readings. If you like this analysis and want to help keep your emotions in check, pop into the Discord. I update sentiment there daily and have a bunch of extra tools and analysis that can elevate your trading game. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next week.